Cloud chasing just ruined another friendship for Rick Ross. Tyreke Hill and Rick Ross were really good friends and neighbors, but their friendship came to a halting end after Rick Ross posted this on his Instagram.
This is my opinion. Must be an electrical fire because the smoke is getting thicker and thicker as the fire trucks stand here. More and more helicopters. Little bro gonna have to build a new crib. It's all good though. It's all good. Spent 10 on this one, you heard me? Rebuild another one, you feel me? Live it up. Smoke getting thicker and thicker, I don't understand.
This is wild for so many reasons. A play-by-play of somebody's house burning down is crazy no matter who it is. But play-by-play of somebody's house burning down who you know, your close friend of yours, Tyreke Hill, is even more insane, right? You see, Rick Ross posted a play-by-play on his Instagram. Now, that was sort of reckless for several reasons. One, Rick Ross is very vocal and boisterous about where he lives, but Tyreke Hill is a more secretive person and doesn't want his address to be on display for an Instagram. Two, it looks like Rick Ross took to his phone and started recording the house burning down to post it before he picked up the phone and gave Tyreke Hill and his family a call and let them know, yo, bro, are you okay? Or ask them, yo, bro, can I post this? He didn't let them know at all, and he never even asked if they were okay, right? Like, Rick Ross didn't know that if Tyreke Hill or his family was burning down inside the home, and if that was the case, he would essentially have been recording their death, which is insane. Now, Tyreke Hill apparently felt that Rick Ross went too far. I mean, for God's sake, bro. Rick Ross posted up a post play-by-play back selfie, bro. Like,
my 2024. Like I said, I'm down in Miami there.
Uh-huh.
Bro, I'm sitting there one day on radio, and the whole thing is about your goddamn house being on fire. Bro, what the hell happened?
Bro, I was at practice when it happened. Crazy. First of all, I just want to say, Rick Ross, bro, I can't vibe with you now, bro. I can't with you no more, bro.
I feel the sentiment. I probably would have felt the same way too, but I'm kind of shocked that Tyreke Hill just outright said it publicly without them even trying to coerce it out of him, right? He sort of volunteered that information. Now, Rick Ross is somebody who is well-connected in Miami, right? He's tapped in with all the goons and wolves. So for Tyreke Hill to take a public stance against Rick Ross, knowing they live in the same community, is kind of wild and brave, but you got to respect it, though. Now, Tyreke Hill continued, and he fully explained exactly why he doesn't rock with Rick Ross.
Oh, my grandparents calling. Hello? Rick Ross, man. Like, you ain't even come over. You had the audacity to talk to a fireman instead of come text. You got my number, bro. You get on Twitter, post me all over Twitter. Like, after what me and my family went through. You supposed to be the neighbor, the neighborhood hero. But yeah, man, I was at
Freddie lived there too. You know
that's
him.
funny.
Freddie lived there.
You saw my story?
Oh, okay.
You see me say anything.
He didn't say nothing.
I didn't say a thing.
I was getting the updates.
Andy hit my line. By the time I got out there, it was 16 fire trucks.
Bro.
I was in the house. I was actually on the treadmill doing some cardio. I went out there. I'm like, what the f-? I walked.
Interesting enough, one of the co-hosts of the Pivot podcast, Freddie, actually lives in the same neighborhood as Rick Ross and Tyreke Hill. And he gives another angle of the Rick Ross and Tyreke Hill situation. So apparently Freddie pulled up and everybody in the neighborhood was really concerned. They were all outside trying to figure out if Tyreke Hill and his family was safe. And while they was trying to figure out if they were safe, well, Rick Ross had the phone out looking for clout.
I walked down. I'm like, oh, no, this ain't good. And then she was trying to get to work. And, you know, I seen Rose over there. I think it might be electrical because the smoke is dark.
And then you want to say something about Wingstop on there. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Don't try to use me for promotion, bro.
Yeah, no,
Using your friend's tragedy for brand promo is crazy. Now, Rick Ross will respond back to the accusations that he was clout chasing, and he'll respond back to Tyreke Hill saying he don't mess with him no more.
Tyreke Hill, I wasn't picking on you, homie. I wasn't picking on you at all. First of all, I'm assuming you are all pro, wealthy, great homeowners insurance, who gonna go get new porcelain floors, marble walls, pillars. So it ain't nothing to pick on you about.
This is one of those examples why I fully agree that all adults should be forced to take a comprehension class. You should be able to demonstrate that you have the comprehension skills of a 10th grader before you're able to function as an adult in society. Because Rick Ross either just don't understand or can't comprehend, or he's being intellectually dishonest on purpose. Tyreke Hill issue isn't the fact that you reported on it and people now think he's broke. No. Tyreke Hill is saying, bro, like, my family underwent a tragedy, right? We lost our home. It's not the money that's the issue. It's the fact that you took to social media before giving me a call and put us on blast. It's not cool.
More importantly, your beautiful mother and your family was straight. They were straight. I didn't film none of them, homie. And let's not act like I'm the one that premiered the fire to the world. It was 5 helicopters circling over your crib and my crib. We stay right across the street from each other. I didn't post you and your girl outside. I didn't post mom, none of that. But it was everywhere, homie. But I was on your podcast before. I always with you. I come on my podcast. It only makes sense.
I'm sure the news would have gotten out there at some point, but Rick Ross was actually the first person to break the news to a lot of us. So he was the first one to break the news. Now, if he didn't break the news, it would have still gotten out there, but that's not the point, bro, right? Tyreke thought that y'all were friends. Now, Rick Ross even shamelessly plugged even more things in his response to Tyreke. Now, Rick Ross would also respond back in a second video to the notion that he was interviewing the firefighters who were there to put out the fire at Tyreke Hill's home. Now, Tyreke Hill did make that accusation. Now, Rick Ross will respond back and try to debunk that particular accusation and say he was actually speaking to the firefighters because he wanted them to do a better job at helping you out and putting the fire out at your home.
And on another note, I just don't like the way the fire department dealt with the fire. They let the house smoke 45 minutes. Once the fire burnt through the ceiling, it was 15 fire trucks on the street. Only one was spraying water into the ceiling. The fire burnt for another hour. With all that commotion going on, when you say, Tyreke, when you mentioned I spoke to the fireman, I asked the fireman, could your mother come and have a seat with everything that's going on? That's what I asked the fireman. And Tyreke, I would love for you to bring that vert, the car that you got out there, to the car show June 1st.
And to add insult to injury, Rick Ross continues to promote his own things while responding back to Tyreke. But this is just insane, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? Do you guys think that Tyreke Hill is right to be upset at Rick Ross? Was Rick Ross doing anything wrong, or was he just doing something that was going to happen regardless of not if he did it or not, which is break the news that Tyreke Hill house got burned down, all right? Let me know. And if you're still watching, click on this video somewhere on my screen to find out why this No Jumper guest who scammed his way onto No Jumper almost got beat up by Sharp and Break Baby mid-interview. Click on this video here to find out what I'm talking about. Out of here, folks. Peace.